Hello, welcome to our weekly press conference with Liberty Football. I'm Coach Chad Frigon. I'd like to open it up for some questions. Yes.
Okay, so we've had kind of a rough season so far, but you still have more of a season left to go. What are you guys doing to change things to turn around your?
Yes, we have had a rough season so far. We've had some highs and lows through that, regardless of our record, that we're trying to really build on what we're good at and get better at some other areas. We do feel like our best football is ahead of us, and going into some games here that hopefully we can win and put us in a better position when we come to our districts and districts in the playoffs as we go down the road with that. So the kids have been great in terms of really working hard and come together as a group and fought through a lot of adversity. And the other night I was really proud of our kids, and we found ourselves down 14 on the road with about 6 minutes to go, and they were able to come back and tie the game. We ultimately lost it with 8 seconds to go. And then had a play after that where we ended about on the half-yard line, didn't get in the end zone where we could have won the football game. And I told them after the game and the kind of season that we've experienced, and then just a mindset shows a lot about their character and what they do as a group and how much they care about football because they were able to fight back. A lot of teams, probably wouldn't have. Given that situation, it was pretty bleak. And I was proud of them and our leaders on our team for doing that and getting us back in that game, putting us in a position, to possibly win the game or get it into overtime. Yes.
Obviously, you had to come back last night, and ultimately it did fall a little bit short. So, what do you think you could have done from the game that could have possibly given you the victory?
Well, I think the biggest thing you look at, we were -3 in turnovers. We turned the ball over 4 times. And also we turned it over on downs inside of 20, so it's, essentially a turnover there without points. And those are things we have to get better at. They had one turnover that we forced a turnover. Michael Shelton had an interception, and unfortunately we got it back, and we had a batted ball that got intercepted on the very next play. Another key point was of our turnovers, 3 of them were first play of drives. One of them on a sack that was given up. That was really unfortunate to set up one of their touchdowns. The one that I mentioned earlier that was batted right there. And then another one on just a hard hit on a running back that the ball got on the ground. And that didn't give our defense any rest against a good Truman offense that runs the ball really well. Yes?
Okay, so take me to your locker room before a game. What do you guys do to get yourself pumped up?
We have kind of the same routine that we do every week in terms of pregame and going from who warms up. We have our kickers and specialists come out first, and then after that our passing game, and then the entire team warms up. We go back in. The players have some times by themselves, and we respect that. They do that, some as a group, some the other, and then I bring together as a team, and we talk about what it is to be a Liberty football player, and then take our team out onto the sideline. And it's something we've done the whole 20 years that I've been there. Really haven't changed that routine. It's worked well for us. Yes? Well, I think what we're really trying to do as a staff is really build on the positives. And even though as bad as some of the things have been, we do find positives and have individuals who that are making good gains in competition, whether it be in practice or throughout the week. And, focus on those things. We had some other guys step up. We had a number of players that were not able to play last week. And we're hoping to have a lot of them back this week. But the positive thing was we had some guys step in and do really well. And I think that's always neat as you see that and see those people that have worked hard be able to get in there and do things and fill in when there's a time of need. Yes?
So obviously you've got a tough game coming up in St. Joe. So what are you going to be expecting from them, and how are you going to take advantage of the way they play their football game?
Well, you look at St. Joe, they're a very physical football team that they run the ball really well. They have a good passing game. Very large. And you look at their offensive line has several guys in the 6'4", 280 range. So they're a lot bigger than we are on both sides of the football. And their guys, some of their big guys play both ways. And we do that. We look at also last week they played Ray Peck and they jumped out to a 14-0 lead on Ray Peck. And Ray Peck's a team that we lost to 14-28 earlier this season. A good football team in Ray Peck. Ray Peck ended up coming back and beating them. But it shows what they're capable of and how well they've been able to play at times, maybe similar to us, and that they've had some spurts where they've played really well. But very big, physical, and up there they have a grass field that we play on, so we'll be practicing on our grass side today and getting our players used to that footing and some of those things. with that as we go up to compete up there at St. Joe this week. Yes.
So you had 6 of your starting guys out of the lineup on this past Friday. Are they going to be back this week?
Yeah, we're anticipating them all back. We had some guys with various injuries and other things they weren't able to play. Key players in. We're hoping that they all practiced yesterday, and we're hoping that progresses through the week, that they're healthy enough and be able to play this week, and that'll give us a big boost, not only from the standpoint to have them on the field, but just having those guys, some of them with our most experienced players, able to get back in there and help us out, and hopefully ultimately we'll be stronger because of it, because we had some guys that were able to play, and we get more guys that are with the experience and the ability to go out and make plays and help us win games on Friday night. And that's the kind of the other way of looking at injuries. We are really hopeful that they're back, and we definitely welcome them back this week. Yes.
Who are the student leaders on the team?
We have a number of them, and when I look at some of the student athletes, guys that are great students and also great players, and that go out there and also work within our community. I think Chase Chapman's an excellent example of that. Students involved in a lot of different activities and things throughout our school. Jacob McGowan will be another one that is involved in a lot of different things at school, a good student that does things well, and has been a key leader on our team. And there's a number of them. I'm probably leaving a ton of them out, but those are two that pop in my mind from both sides of the ball right there that really do well. And I think one of the neat things, you look down at some of our lower classes, we're really having a good year in the classroom with our lower, like our sophomore and freshman classes. When we do our grade checks, they're doing a great job, and we're really proud of them. Our juniors and seniors as well are doing well, and some of that's they've taken them a couple years to figure it out, and they're really doing it good now. But we're excited about where they're at with our younger kids as well. Yes.
Seeing as you're such like a small team in comparison to like St. Joe, for example, how do you take care of that? How do you
Well, I think when you're just looking at overall size, we're much smaller than we've been in the past. And that goes in cycles. When you're in high school football, you have some teams that are bigger, some that are faster, some that are quicker, some that are stronger. And last year we were blessed with some really big size on both sides of our line. I think we had 6 linemen that signed to play in college last year. And that's just kind of how things are going. We have other positions we're stronger at this year, but maybe as compared to last year. But that's how we do it. And as a high school coach, you adjust your scheme and do different things to adjust what players you have. And that's probably one of the biggest difference between looking at like college football compared to here in college. You can recruit kids that fit into where you have, and here you as the saying goes, you play the hand you're dealt. You get your kids there, you develop them and fit them in. You fit a scheme around them, and that's one of the fun things about being a high school coach, is being able to do that and work on the players' strengths and their weaknesses as you develop your group into a team. Yes.
What do you think are some of the strengths and weaknesses of our team?
Yeah, I think the biggest strength that I see with our team right there is right now our athleticism and our speed. We are a fast team, maybe not having some real outliers in there, but having overall team speed is pretty good. And that's one thing and I think the biggest strength of this group, I think they really like football. They're a group, even though they've had a rough season so far, likes to go out and practice, likes being around each other, and does those things. And those are some of the strengths I see in this group. Yes?
What major lessons has the team learned so far in the season?
Well, I think one thing, hopefully we're still learning some of them here as we continue to improve. We're behind in the turnover margin, and we know that's something that we have to win games. We have to be ahead, or at least even in those things. It's very hard to win football games without winning that turnover margin. And if you look back at the years we've had good years, we've been up in those by over +5. And right now we're -4 on the season, so that makes it really tough as we go through that. So that's a lesson I hope we continue to learn and be able to take care of as we finish our season out here with that. Yes?
Is there anyone in particular that you would say keeps the team spirits up?
I think we have a lot of those guys that are extremely positive as we go through. And I think when you look at, we talk all the time on our team about different types of leaders. And I tell them that to be a great leader, you have to take care of yourself first. You don't have to do everything right yourself, but then be able to be a positive influence on somebody else. And we have some guys that do that quite a bit. They're not afraid to get somebody back in line if they need to, or encourage somebody that we have that comes along. And I think it's really good that we have those kind of guys on our team. And the more we get like that, the better off we're going to be. Yes.
Do you have any team traditions before and after each game?
You know, we do. We sing a song together that we have after a game if we win. We haven't sung it yet this year, but we're hoping to soon. We have, and then we do it's not really, but a saying that we do, you know, kind of the meaning of what it is to be a Liberty football player before we go out on the field. And those are things that have been taking place since I've been here 20 years ago, and things that our kids like, and just kind of reminding them to keep them all where they need to be. So those are some of the traditions we do. We do a normal pregame where we have meals and meetings and things like that, and then we go through the kind of the same steps and scenarios each week as well. All right, I appreciate great questions today and hope to see you here back next week with our press conference. Thank you.